Hello everyone, my name is Elena, aka MintyMido, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back to my channel where I do fun art challenges and talk about whatever's on my mind. And today we have the 8th installment of my Drawing Your Sonic OCs series. We are almost to 10 of these babies, I can't believe it. If you'd like to see the other videos in this series, I do have a playlist of all of them on my channel, so you're welcome to go binge them all if you enjoyed this one. And I really hope you do, because I'm honestly so hyped about this batch of OCs. I had so much fun working on them, and I'm excited to share them with you all today. And if you are interested in submitting your Sonic OC for the small chance to maybe have your OC drawn by me in a future video, you may fill out the submission form, which I will have linked in the description. And I'm really excited about today's batch of OCs, so let's get into it. Welcome to the time-lapse, everybody. So for our first OC for today, we have Shawn the Nine-Tailed Fox, submitted by Terrence. And I can tell, or at least I can assume, that this OC was heavily inspired by the FNAF / Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, which I'm sure other FNAF fans will definitely notice as well as I get into Shawn's story. And more power to you, Terrence. I always encourage combining your interests and fandoms. That's like the pinnacle of being a fan. I have so much crossover fan art from back in the day, but anyways, that's a topic for another video. So Shawn is able to teleport, and he's really strong due to being an animatronic, and they were built to perform for children, so you can usually find them at a daycare playing with kids. Over time, they did start to break down due to being one of the first few animatronics to be built, and the animatronic is mainly controlled by the soul of someone named Sirloin, who was spring-locked inside. So from time to time, Shawn will glitch and gain full control of the animatronic over Sirloin, which worries their friends a bit, but otherwise, everyone, Shawn, the kids at the daycare, and all their friends, everyone's all happy and doing well. So I'm sure that everyone who knows about FNAF can see the inspiration, which again, I love that. I'm all for pulling from multiple sources when designing OCs. And while I'm not a hardcore FNAF fan, I do try to keep up with the game theory videos on it so that I can stay informed. I like how Shawn's backstory is mostly cute and wholesome with a slightly dark undertone, like everything's cool and fine until it's not. It definitely leaves room for a story to be told there. I wanted them to look pretty cute and endearing, but I also wanted to intentionally give it that unsettling, creepy vibe that is so integral to the FNAF animatronics, and it's a hard balance to capture. I think he came off a little more creepy than cute in the end, but I don't think they look too scary. This OC did not have a reference image, but Terrence described the overall look and mentioned that Shawn was built in the 80s, so I just had to give them a cute little 80s mullet hairstyle, and I had a lot of fun with that. Also, drawing 9 tails is really hard, and originally I was gonna try to make each tail look a bit more robotic, but I decided that it would just take me way too much time. To imply the breakage that Terrence described in the backstory, I just drew Shawn's arm to look like the robotic skeleton, because I imagine in their peak original form they'd like be wearing gloves like the other Sonic characters, but I thought this was a simple way to imply that Shawn is not in his best condition. And I also added an extra touch of creepiness with the sharp fingers. I had a great time with this one. I always appreciate reference photos, but I also enjoy getting the chance to stretch my creative muscles and do my own thing, so thank you, Terrence, for your submission. I hope I was right in assuming that Shawn is inspired by FNAF. If not, I'm sorry, but either way, I hope you like how I drew your OC. Next up, we have Avery the Cat, submitted by Mina, and Avery's powers are related to the cyan-colored Chaos Emerald. Mina said they tried to research what powers the emerald specifically gives, but it seems to vary, so that ability will depend on whatever universe Avery is in. For example, in Sonic Superstars, the cyan emerald gives the ability to turn into water. I haven't played Sonic Superstars. I didn't realize the emeralds played a role like that in the game, so that's interesting. Maybe I should get it. That sounds cool. But basically, Avery's story begins when she heard distinct whispers and voices coming from the glow of the cyan Chaos Emerald, but couldn't make out any specific speech. Out of curiosity, she reached out for the emerald, and it blew up and shattered. She ended up absorbing the emerald and lost her memory from the blow. Along with her amnesia, she grows more naive of the world in general and is constantly getting into trouble by accident. She has ADHD and has a habit of ranting about her hyperfixation with whale sharks, which causes her to interrupt people all the time without realizing it. Her eyes have a teal tint due to the cyan emerald's powers, and she can get very anxious if left alone for a long time, especially in the dark. This was such a fun OC to draw. I think Avery is so cute. I especially love her whale shark hyperfixation, and I thought the reference image of her holding the whale shark plushie was too cute, so I just had to include that in my drawing. I really like her outfit. It's so simple but very appealing. Mina let me know that I could redesign Avery if I wanted, but honestly, I don't know if I'd change anything. I really like her design. I know her eyes are the cyan color as a nod to the ability she gained from the Chaos Emerald, so maybe you could could add more of that color into her design to make that connection more clear, but I personally didn't change anything in my drawing just because I think she looks really cute as is, but that's just a suggestion if you ever want to flesh out this OC more. Again, I really like her current look, and I had so much fun drawing her and coloring her. You guys can probably tell with this round of OCs how much fun I was having in general. I feel so proud of the quality and the things I learned, especially in the coloring process. Like, I feel like drawing these OCs has been so helpful in discovering a more streamlined process for all my art in general, and I'm just so happy that this series is continuing to be fun for me, and I really hope that you guys are still enjoying the series as well. Anyways, thank you, Mina, for your submission. I hope that you like how my drawing of the adorable Avery the Cat turned out. Alright, next we have Target the Flying Fox, submitted by Sage, and Target has the power of mimicry. Sage is still working on the backstory, but for starters, when Target turned 10, she was experimented on by her parents. They were mad scientists, and for most of Target's childhood, she was just getting experimented on and eventually caused her to lose her left eye. Whenever Target refused for them to experiment on her, they would oh my gosh, this is so dark! Okay. Pause. Sorry, I'm looking at my script and I forgot how dark this was. Like, all of it is really dark, but I had just like a delayed reaction as I was reading it. Anyways, if she refused to be experimented on, they would force her to take pills to put her to sleep so that way they can continue to experiment on her. When she turned 16, her parents had to leave for a relative's funeral. They left her alone without her knowing, and after she realized they were gone, she decided to make use of her parents experimenting. She found an artificial Chaos Emerald laying on her father's desk that he had made, so she tried to mimic the power of the Chaos Emerald, which did work, but not entirely. She was able to break out and found herself on the streets of Station Square, where she met another OC, which belongs to Sage's little sister. I think it's pronounced AI Riley, and the two of them become close friends. A few months later, they meet the Sonic crew when they were caught up by Dr. Eggman. Eventually, Target and AI Riley become really good friends with the Sonic team, and Shadow specifically becomes one of Target's closest friends. Nowadays, Target uses her mimicry powers to fight Dr. Eggman in battle. So I love this OC's design. Target is so cool. I love a good, mysterious looking character. She has such a dark and tragic backstory, so I did want her to look really mysterious and intimidating, and I had fun drawing her at this pose and angle where it looks like she's kind of hovering above you, all powerful and everything. I just love this design so much. I might have drawn her eye wrong. I couldn't tell in the reference if she has a bandage on it or if the eye is just closed, so I went with a bandage because I like that look a lot, but yeah, overall, I just had a great time with this one, and all of these OCs, seriously. Thank you, Sage, for your submission. I had so much fun drawing Target, and I hope you like how she turned out. Our next OC is Tia the Raccoon, submitted by Mia. Tia has the power to make weapons and items out of any earth material. Tia was born in the depths of a lush forest, surrounded by towering trees and an abundant wildlife. From a young age, she discovered her unique ability to manipulate earth materials to create items and weapons of all kinds. With just a touch, she could transform rocks into swords, branches into bows, and leaves into shields. However, Tia soon learned that there was a price to pay for using her powers, an insatiable hunger and thirst that could only be satisfied with copious amounts of food and water. Despite the challenges posed by her abilities, Tia embraced her gift wholeheartedly. She trained tirelessly to hone her skills and became known far and wide as a master craftsman among the woodland creatures. Whether it was fashioning armor out of bark or crafting tools from stones, Tia's creations were always both practical and intricately detailed. Her fur color, pastel green with light forest green stripes, stood out amongst others in the forest, making her instantly recognizable wherever she went. As Tia grew older, she found herself drawn to using her powers for good causes. She would often donate her creations to help those in need or defend against threats that arose in the forest. Despite the toll on her body from using so much energy to craft these items, she never hesitated to offer aid when it was needed most. And so, Tia continued on as a beacon of hope and ingenuity in the wilderness, forever bound by a duty to protect those around her. As an additional note, she lives on Angel Island and is connected to the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds. She has a little sister named Mary who helps out with any animals, flickies, or Mobians that are in need, and Tia has a small neighborhood and a small city for flickies and Mobians to live in. Firstly, Mia, I want to say that you're a really good writer. I usually try to simplify the OC's backstories for the sake of time, but I just wanted to read basically everything you wrote verbatim because you did such a fantastic job detailing this character. far. And I had so much fun drawing Tia. I was really struggling on the pose because I knew I wanted to draw her holding a sword made out of stone because I really liked that idea a lot, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to depict her holding it. I went for an action sort of pose, and while I'm happy with the final result, part of me wishes I chose a different pose that doesn't cover her torso so much. But regardless, I had a fun time drawing her. I really like this bright green fur color. Like you said, it's so distinctive, and she has such a bright and playful design coupled with such serious responsibilities. I love that type of conflicting juxtaposition in characters. Thank you so much, Mia, for your submission and your writing. Your OC is so cool, and I hope you like how my drawing of her turned out. Our last OC for today is Sadie the Spider, submitted by Kohyep, and woo! You guys, I am so hyped about this one. I think this is my favorite drawing that I've done in this series thus far. Like, I am so excited about this. Anyways, there's not too much to her backstory. She can inject venom into her enemies by biting them. She's also able to launch web from her hands, kind of like Spider-Man, but doesn't really have that much control over it. She was born to a village that believed her species was a curse, and one day the villagers came and killed all the other spiders, leaving Sadie alone. This backstory is why she tries to carry herself in a way to look pretty scary, so that way she'll intimidate people away from messing with her. But in reality, she's actually really kind on the inside. So there was no reference photo provided, but I was really excited to draw a spider OC for the first time, and I'm excited to say it was such a fun process, like I said already. Since the description wasn't super specific, I got to be really creative with my choices, and it was just so fun to do. Kohyep described her looking like a gangster and wearing a suit, and that description made me think, oh, like a 1920s gangster mob boss type of vibe. So when I decided to go in that direction, I just started going all in on this drawing. Like, I felt like I was going into the Avatar state or something. I was totally locked in, ready to go. I loved figuring out how to pose all of her arms. I'm so happy that I added this fancy little cigarette holder. Like, she's just such a boss baddie, and I'm in love with her. She's so cool. One thing I'm sad about looking at the time lapse, I meant to add stripes to the suit, and I did that in the sketch, but I forgot to add it in the final drawing. Oh well, but that's okay. There is already a lot going on with her, and I hope you guys are just as obsessed with her as I am, because I am so proud of this. I think she looks so cool, and thank you, Kohyep, for your submission. Like I said, this is my favorite drawing I've done for this whole series so far. I loved drawing Sadie. It is possible that my rendition looks nothing like what you had in mind. Like, I'm not sure if this 1920s vibe is what you were actually envisioning, and I did get pretty carried away with my interpretation, but even if she doesn't match your vision completely, I hope that you enjoy my depiction of Sadie the Spider. Thanks so much for watching. This video took me longer than I expected because I had some stuff going on, but also I was just having so much fun with drawing the OCs, and I'm so happy because I'm always so scared that if I do something too often I'll get bored with it. But with this video, I was so excited to start on it, excited while working on it, and excited by the results. Like, everything just fell into place, and I'm so happy with how all these OCs turned out. Remember that if you would like the small chance to maybe have your OC chosen for a future installment of this series, you can fill out the submission form in the description, and there you can also find all my other important links, including my social medias. I'm technically on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, but like, I have big beef with Instagram right now, and I may not be uploading there for a while because I gotta figure out stuff on my end. I also haven't uploaded there in months anyways, so whatever. I'm looking into alternatives like Kara and Unveil. I think that's how they're pronounced. If any of you guys have joined those platforms or any other alternatives, please let me know what you think of them. I hate making new social media accounts, but I am at my wit's end with basically every big site, except YouTube. Love you, babe. But aside from following me on those other accounts, if you'd like to go the extra mile to support me, I do have a Ko-fi page where you can tip or commission me. Either is very much appreciated. And with my commissions, I actually just opened up Sonic OCs as a commission option, so go check that out if you're interested. I just finished my first Sonic OC commission not too long ago, and I'll be featuring more details about that process in a future video, so keep an eye out. And with that out of the way, thanks so much again for watching. I sincerely appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!